we were driving home from Wells, and me and my wife were talking, you know, and I seen this bright light kind of out of the corner of my eye, and just kept on watching it, you know, and didn't think really nothing of it. It's kind of funny because we were talking about, she was pointing out where the space station was and everything else, and this star and that star. We're just kind of talking about stars, and all of a sudden, you know, it just disappeared. And did you see that? She goes, yeah. What was that? I don't know. And then we drove down further down the road, and it came back. And we were like, well, this is weird. I've never seen nothing like that before. Went down, you know, as we drove, it disappeared again. So we pulled into Lages Junction and watched it, and another car pulled in, you know, and you could look down the highway, see a couple other cars stopped watching. And got out of the truck, and we were watching, and two showed up. And two of the lights up in the sky, they showed up. And they stayed there for a minute, you know, and we were watching them, and then they disappeared. And then out of the corner of our eye, all three of us caught another one way out further east, over toward the Wendover way. And that kind of drew our attention, and we were all watching over there. And then as that one just disappeared, there was like two or three showed up right in that same spot, you know, up over Lages Junction. And then that really got us excited. Now something's going on here. And this guy that was there, a Mexican guy, he says, you know, this is the second time he's ever seen, he goes, this is similar to what he's seen, but not exactly the same. But he's seen it in Arizona. And we were kind of talking, and then all of a sudden, two of them showed up. They were there for approximately 30 seconds and just disappeared. And I had to be at work early in the morning. It was getting kind of late. Everybody wanted to stay out there all night and watch it, and I got to work, you know. So we got in a pickup. We were driving down the road coming, you know, from Lages Junction to McGill, and my son was watching out the back window, and he's, you know, he noticed some kind of, like, I don't know, he said it was military aircraft or something. I don't know what it was, flying around that area. And I couldn't really see because, you know, I was in the front seat, my wife was driving, and that's basically all I saw. Other than, you know, just thinking about it, and I went to work, and I was telling a couple people about it at work, and it was probably about 2 or 3 days later, one of the truck drivers called and said, hey, Sean, you're not going to believe what I just saw. And he described the exact same thing what I saw. And at that time, there was another woman that got on radio. Yeah, I saw it too. And I think there's about 3 or 4 truck drivers and one of the dump hands out there that actually saw it. I'm not sure. Well, you know who one of them is, but I'm not sure who the other ones are. And that was pretty much my experience with this whole thing. And, you know, I believe that there's something out there. You know, it's too much not to be, but for the first time ever seeing anything, you know, like I told my son, could be a once in a lifetime thing, and I was really, really excited. And when Heather said that she turned it in, you know, and got to more investigation and stuff like that, I was kind of, yeah, this is going to go somewhere. To me, it was an orangish color. I'm colorblind, so I really couldn't, you know, to me it looked like an orangish color, and round, and too big to be a star, too big to be airplane lights or landing lights or anything of an airplane, or it was too high in the sky to be pickups or any kind of equipment on the ground. It was pretty high up there, and that's about all I can really describe. It was round, kind of like it looked like an orange street light way out in the distance that was flashing on and off. But where it was located, there's impossible to be anything like that there.
Okay. Now I want to make sure, because of the video, the way it looked as opposed to the way it looked to the human eye, was it flickering or was it a solid color?
You got to realize that was a pretty cheap camera.
No, I understand.
But-
But don't worry about the camera.
But
Throw,
it,
throw the camera
I-
away. To your naked eye,
I can't recall that it was flickering. It looked more of a solid. It was just, when I first saw it, I thought it was fireworks. But there was no flicker, and it was pretty much a solid color.
okay, so like looking at a light bulb.
Yeah.
It's just a solid, it's on.
Yeah,
Because in the video, it flickers.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's just inherent in the camera itself, the electronics.
Yeah.
But to the naked eye, and this is very important, to your naked eye, it was a solid color, a solid light,
Yes.
whatever it was.
Yes.
We don't know what it was, but it wasn't flickering. It was
no,
solid.
it was a solid. It was
Okay.
solid color.
You would see it come on and then go off, just like flipping a light
Just
switch.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And it didn't look like it was coming toward us. It didn't look like it was going away. It was kind of a stationary, just right there.
So at no point you never saw it moving left to right. It just stayed on in one position when
Yeah.
it happened. Okay.
My vision, it was probably about the size of a pea.
Move your hand over a little bit, so I want to see
A
the
pea.
size
That's
of a
a
pea.
pea.
When you first saw it,
When I first saw it, it was more like a dime, maybe. You know, pretty.
okay, that's important. So
But-
think about it. So the first time you saw it, before it went off and you ended up pulling over, it was about the size of a dime. in
Yeah,
orange
that's what. Yeah, it was about the size of a dime, because that's what caught our eye, a bright star. That's what I thought it was. You know, and then maybe it's a supernova or something. We didn't know, and then all of a sudden it just disappeared. And then they started, and it seemed like the closer we got, the smaller they got. But we were driving toward the lights.
Right.
But yeah, it seemed like when we got out, they were a lot smaller than when we first saw it. I saw what I saw, and it definitely something I've never seen before.
Have you ever, in your life, growing up around here, seen anything like that?
No,
before?
I haven't. I've never seen anything like that. Never. That's the first time. I see things that I could identify,
You've
but
seen lights on
Yeah.
aircraft and things like
yes.
that. This wasn't anything like that.
No, it wasn't. This is something I cannot identify. I have no clue what this was.
Did you have any interest in this subject before? I mean,
No, I haven't. I never even thought of it.
really?
No, I've never. Once in a while I would catch a UFO show on the History Channel. I'd watch maybe 10, 15 minutes of it and go about doing my thing. That's as far as I've ever went
But
with
this
it.
wasn't an interest, isn't it? You're not a...
No, I don't go out hunting them. I
You
don't.
weren't looking for it.
No, I don't go out hunting them. I've talked to people that's seen them before, and I kind of laugh it off and go about my way. You know, it's the first I've seen something I cannot describe, and it got my attention. The feeling of seeing something that you cannot describe, you know. I'm supposed to know it all. I'm the man of the house, you know, and I seen something I didn't. It just blew me away. What is that, you know?
And this was entirely stationary, and then
Yeah.
it just blinks off like,
Yes.
like you pulled a chain on a light bulb or
Yeah.
something.
Exactly.
But it doesn't, when it reappears, it's not in the same part of the sky? Is it moving?
They were moving around, but then eventually they would reappear about in the same area.
But you saw something over here and then something over there?
Yes, yes.
But you did not see it moving.
I did not see it move over there,
Appeared steady, disappeared,
and then
reappeared
over here.
over there.
Yes. When they lit up at the same time, when there was 3 of them up there, they were kind of a little bit of an angle coming down like this. Boom, boom, boom. Out there at Lages Junction, the stars are beautiful. I mean, they're everywhere. You can see stars forever. It's a neat place.
But this was clearly something.
This is something,
It was bigger.
yeah, it was something out.
Off and on.
It was something out. It wasn't normal.